action, sports, and tech. So I have my Spark, some new Polar Pro ND filters, and we just got about 20 centimeters of snow last night. Let's get out there and see how these things work. Alright, so here we have the Polar Pro filters for the DJI Spark. This little kit comes with 6 of them. Has them ranging from ND8 all the way up to ND32. 3 of them are polarized and 3 of them are not. Okay. So here you can see, got a Spark right here. The Spark's got a Polar Pro gimbal cover. This gimbal cover obviously protects your camera, protects your gimbal, but it also allows you to have one of these Polar Pro filters on your camera with the gimbal cover on there. So nice little protective device to protect your 3D sensor and your camera lens or your filter that's on there. So I'll show you how these guys come off. Not too hard to do. They kind of just clip into the vents here at the back of the camera, and then they slide over top of the lens. So here, I'll put this one back on. So clip it into the back of the camera there. Not super easy, but not too bad. Let's get the hang of it. And then just clip it right over the lens like that. So put it over the lens, then you can grab your gimbal cover and just put it actually right on there. Nicely hold your gimbal there on both sides so that you can protect that thing while you got it hanging out. Anyways, so why would you want to use the ND filters? Well, you want to use these things whenever you got too much light getting into the camera. Most of these little action cameras, drones, have fixed apertures, so they're going to let in a certain amount of light, and all you can do is speed up your shutter speed in order to cut that down a little bit. So what you want to do is put these guys on there. They'll block some of that light so that you can slow down that shutter speed and actually get some motion blur between your frames while you're shooting it. So what you're shooting for, or what you're ideally hoping for, is twice the frame rate as far as your shutter speed. So if you're shooting at 30 frames per second, which you always are on a Spark, you're looking for 1/60th of a second for your shutter speed, ideally. So the closer you can get to that, the better. If you cut that or drop that shutter speed down, what you're going to get is some nice motion blur in between your frames, so that you're not going to see that really kind of choppy or flickering type of shot that you see out of some GoPros or any of the DJI drones if you're not using ND filters. So grab ND filters. I'd use them all the time. One of the big reasons that we use drones for photography or for filmmaking is because they're moving. So for the most part, you're always going to want motion blur in your pictures. So grab yourself some ND filters, throw them on your cameras, and shoot outside in the nice sunny weather, and you'll be happy with the results. All right, thanks.